Hi, I'm Judd Campbell, a professor at University of Richmond School of Law, and I'm going to provide a brief recap of the recent Nieves versus Bartlett decision. Nieves versus Bartlett involves the intersection of two different lines of well-established case law. So the first is that officers are allowed to arrest people when there's probable cause for an arrest, which basically means when the officers have a good reason to suspect that you violated the law. The second line of well-established case law is that officers are not allowed to arrest you on the basis of a retaliatory motive. That is, on the basis of wanting to punish you for something that you've said that's protected by the First Amendment. And so this case, the Nieves case, involves a conflict between those two because it raises the question of what to do when an officer has probable cause to make an arrest, but also, according to the person arrested, was actually making the arrest because of a retaliatory motive. And this illustrates a sort of conflict between two bigger lines of case law over the last several decades. The first line of case law has made it more difficult to sue police officers for damages. And the second line of case law has made the First Amendment more protective of speakers. And so this case is presenting this conflict between not just these two specific lines of well-established law, but also these sort of broader trends in Fourth Amendment and First Amendment case law. And what the Supreme Court ended up saying in the Nieves case, with 5 justices joining all of the majority of the opinion, was that the police generally will prevail in suits against police officers for damages based on retaliatory arrest, so long as the police officer had probable cause. And so for the most part, police officers came ahead in this case, with a very narrow exception. And the narrow exception is if the plaintiff can show that there have been other people who've done the same thing, engaged in the same criminal conduct, but have not been arrested, then that, according to the Supreme Court, might defeat the officer's defense for having probable cause as a basis for preventing the officer from being liable for damages on the basis of their alleged retaliatory arrest.